Is it on?
Mm-hmm. Good morning. Hello, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. This is Thumper. He's saying hi and good morning, and hope everybody's ready to get some sewing done. Anyways, I'm behind today. All right. I did kitty kitty. All right, let's see who is here. Dawn, Kay, Janet, Diane, Rosalind, Queen of the Roost, Galen, Tina, Rena, Vicky, Lois, Gwen, James, Diane. Welcome, everybody. So we're still working on the flower pot quilt. I have it on the wall as if I want to, as if it's going to be that way. And I kind of came up with a sort of, but we're going to make it up as we go, kind of, what's the word for it? Words from my mouth. Sashing for in between right here and in between right here, and then in the blank spots on the top and bottom. I want mine. You can do whatever you want with yours. This is how I'm doing mine, and I will tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it, because I'm obviously sort of making it up. I'm going to have mine staggered like this because not all your gardens are in a row. Not all your flower pots are in a row. Isn't that like a saying? Yes. Anyway, so not all your ducks are in a row, but mine are not all your flower pots are in a row. So I'm going to make mine staggered like this. The idea behind what I'm doing is a 1-inch sashing on this side and the bottom, not on the outside of the outside pieces. Then in between the 1-inch sashing, it'll go on the top too, a piece of this flower fabric that I found, which weirdly enough, they're not the same designer, is the same color background as this floral fabric, like literally the same, but totally different designers. One's Jungle Mania from Blend Fabrics that I don't even know, from 2019. Mia Sharo by Blend. And then this one is Wyndham Fabrics by Shannon Christensen's, called Between Friends. Literally have the same theme. So I just pulled 1 yard of each because I don't know how much I'm going to need.
They match amazing.
Yes, they do. They're like perfect. So 1-inch sashing around all of these except for the 4 sides of the outer ones, because those will get bigger around the outside before a border. And I'm going to do it in white. Then in between those whites, I'm going to put the piece of the smaller print flower in between. And I'll probably do like a 1.5-inch strip. And then on the bottom in 4, and the top in 2 places and the bottom in 2 places, I'll need to cut a bigger piece, but I'm still going to put white on the bottom of it before it touches where the white will be the border, if that makes any sense. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut some 1-inch strips for mine. I know some people don't like 1-inch, so you could do 1.5 and change your measurements, you know, but I'm going to do 1-inch set because I don't want the pretty fabric touching the edge of this. I want to stop the flowers so that they're floating. Does that make any sense? I sure hope so. All right. It is also cold here, so I am wearing my hoodie today. It was 48 degrees when I got up this morning. It's like 52 now, but still, that's cold for me. Anything under 70, and I freeze. So I'm going to cut a bunch of 1-inch strips from this leftover piece, and then I have more white fabric to keep going. Hopefully it's the same shade of white. since we have that problem every time we buy white, it's never the same shade. So I'm just going to cut this whole scrap piece that was left over from piecing the blocks into 1-inch strips, and then we'll start going around most of the blocks. Will I get 2 more? Ooh, that's close. And will I get 1 more? Nope, that one's 7/8-ish. So that can go in my bin. And then how many blocks do I have? 1, 2, I have 12. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll cut from this. And we'll start going around those. And then that's how we'll get the measurement for the bottom and the top pieces. Probably should put this thing under here so I don't accidentally cut it. Hold on 2 seconds. It's pulling on the microphone if I just let it hang. And we don't want that. There we go. All right. Rotary cutter. And what did I count? I counted 8, right? Is that where I'm at?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. 9. Oh my goodness, come on. My mat is getting super dings. I think it's time to flip it to the other side. 2. These are large blocks, so that's why I need a bunch of 1-inch strips. I was at 7, okay. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Ah, come on. 12. We're going to do like 15. That should be enough because the outer ones aren't getting anything. But I'll give you a total number for all 12 blocks. Let's do 15 for now. Because we need, these blocks are like 16 inches, I think. I think they were 16.5 inches or something like that. I'll tell you right now real quick. 18 inches. They're 18-inch blocks. So yeah, they need more than this. They need like 17 strips.
How did you get started in quilting?
How did I get started in quilting? Well, I was looking on, I don't remember if it was Pinterest, Facebook, or whatever, and I saw a quilt, and I said, ooh, I can make one. I dug out my sewing machine that's been buried for many, many years because I didn't have to fix any kid clothes for a while, and that's what I had a sewing machine for. And I pulled it out and made a quilt out of a sheet, and I loved it so much that I just kept going. And I started sewing other stuff. This was in 2015. The end of 2015 is when I started. And then I started sewing other things, not just quilting, and I tried making clothes, and really it wasn't interested in the clothing making, but all the quilting was self-taught. It took about 6 months before I realized YouTube had quilting videos. That's when I found Missouri Star. That was before they had the new studio that they have now. It was back in their old thing that they had. And then I found Donna Jordan, who has passed on the 14th. So very sorry to the family about that. And then from then on, I just started finding people. And then the quilting part, I found Angela Walters and so on and so forth. I just kept going, and I was like, wow. And then I started made a video about how to redo my wheelchair, and then I put it on YouTube. And I was like, holy moly, this has 500 views. That's a lot. So I was like, well, I could just go on and do more. And I kept doing more, and it kept getting more views. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So that's how I got into it. All right, I'm going to do 1 block at a time. I'm just going to like, I'm not even going to cut 18 inches. I'm just going to put it on like I do borders. I'm really not in the mood to cut, you know, a bunch of 18-inch strips and then sew them on the one side and then 10, 11-inch and then the other side. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. I just want to sew. So I'm going to lay this on here and just sew them on 1-inch strips with a 1/4-inch seam. And then I'll get a few of them done and then I'll press them. So I should be able to get 2 blocks per strip for the sides. Or, you know, what part of the strip on one side and part of it on the other, but I'm just going to do 2 and chain piece this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this end off real quick. Just like I do with borders. There, it's cut to size. And then that piece can be pieced for the in-betweens. All right. So let me separate this right there, right there. A best advice to give a quilter that's having a hard time organizing the sewing areas. Sewing area. I would say I have some organization videos. You could check those out. Don't stress about it. My fabric room this room is always a mess. There's no changing. I mean, it's sort of clean. The desk is always cleaned off, but everything else around that you can't see, it's usually a disaster. Little by little is how I keep it clean. The fabric room, on the other hand, that one's always a disaster. I don't stress about it. I work on it an hour every night now. Because it's helping my sleeping, going in there and working for an hour and then leaving the room. I just take my phone in with me. I have a timer on it and I just turn it on, and after an hour, I'm done. If I'm not finished doing whatever it is I'm doing, I stop. I just go in the other room. So now I'm just working on things an hour at a time, and I think it's helping keep the mess in control. So if you just go in your sewing room here and there, don't stress about it. If it's not perfect, who is going to see it other than you? Honestly, who's going to see it? Unless it's like, you guys have seen episodes of Hoarders. Unless it looks like that, then I'd be scared and need help. But if it doesn't look like that and you could still move around and things are in the, yeah, and things are in the place that you want, you know. I have videos, go check them out. And yeah, just don't stress. Everything will come together eventually. All right. Grab another one. I'm kind of trying to just grab them in the order so that I can lay them back on the wall in that same order, hopefully. Just going to butt this up to the previous one. And so right on down. And if you missed how to put these flower pots together, check out episode, 29 is the last one?
Yes.
Okay, check out episode 29. It has all the directions in the, there's a word for it, in the description of the video. But if you are in the Facebook group, I'm pretty sure Karen has already put a PDF on all the measurements needed. So if you use Facebook, you can just get a PDF of it. All right. So I'm going to separate these two.
What do you do when you get overwhelmed with how many works in a process you have at once and get lost in them?
What do I do if I get overwhelmed by too many projects at once? I actually don't get overwhelmed by it. I just work on what I can when I can. I don't have that sense of overwhelmedness from it. Just do what you can when you can. I have physical limitations that stop me from working all the time. So I do what I can. like right now, while I can. I got 2 hours with you guys. What can I do in 2 hours? I can get a little bit more of this project done. If not finish getting it put together, you know? Since I'm so speedy. Although I don't feel like I'm being as speedy today as I am any other day. All right, grab the next one.
Well, you have that type of work personality where you can
Yeah.
have a zillion projects at once. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't do that. When I start something, I have to finish it. I can't start another thing.
Scott says that I have that type of work personality where I can do multiple things at once, multitask pretty much, where he has he can't do that. He has to do one project at a time, finish that one project, move on to the next. But he's a step guy. I am not. He likes step by step. Step 1, you know, work on it. Step 5, finish it. Step 6, work on something new. See, I don't do that. I just work on what I want when I want. I don't find it overwhelming because it gives you the ability to not get bored of one single project. Get where I'm going here? So if you do get, oh, okay, I'm done with these flowers, and move on to something else for a little while and then come back to your flowers. I don't find that overwhelming. Some people do, like Scott just said. It happens. Yeah. Yeah, I know that from when we painted the house. I couldn't do anything else until this house was painted. I wanted to do all the other things that we needed to do to get this house done, but
You're talking about me. I worked
yeah,
night and day.
yeah, he worked night and day to get it done because he wanted all his ducks in a row. He wanted all his flower pots in a row. How about that? Is that a word? There you go. All right. Another strip. Black. So if you get overwhelmed, just move on one project to the next and back, you know, if that's the short answer to this. I have met a lot of quilters out there though that actually only do one project at a time, and they don't have fabric stashes and only work with what they bought, get it done, and then buy the stuff for the next project once the first one is done. Seems logical, you know, you don't have to take up a ton of extra space. You just have your sewing machine and your rotary cutter and the things that you need to make the quilts, but you buy the project as you go. That's pretty smart, actually. Keeps from having dusty fabric and and piles of it. And having things that you'll never use. All right, so the next one, because those don't get an outside, those get an inside. So I'm going to separate this. This will go here and this there. We'll put the last one on this guy, and then those ones are going on the opposite side. I'm gonna like totally ruin my glasses if I leave them right there.
You want to put them on?
No.
Juice?
Huh? No. All right, can I turn the iron on?
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Which one do you want?
Just the little one is fine.
Am I ironing?
No, I'm going to do it because these are small. All right, so that will go towards the inside of the next. Technically, I can go down the opposite side of all but 3 of these. Yep, Thumper stole the seat already once Scott got up to turn the iron on for me. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite side of these, except for 3 of them. That way that part could just be pressed all at once. There's one. I'm literally cutting the selvage off as I go.
How do you keep your projects organized?
How do I keep my projects organized? Well, technically I don't. I just throw them on the desk. I start whatever, like all these blocks, because I needed the design wall for So Sundays videos.
No, they're all over your industrial machine.
My industrial machine, instead of being used like it should be, it has become the landing zone for projects. Like that, or I throw things on the floor right here in my closet. And that's how my closet became a mess the first time. And right now it's a disaster again because I ran out of hangers to hang quilts. And then there's a quilt, a quilt pyramid is what I'm going to call it right there, because I just finished custom quilting something, not yesterday, the day before yesterday. And yesterday it spent the whole day drying because the word for it, there's a word for it. The Mark Be Gone marker for marking quilts to long arm quilt. Yeah, that just did not go away. So I had to soak the quilt and it hung over the long arm for a whole day.
Down, right?
But now all the marks are finally gone. You should put that in the chat and I'll go back and read it. What do you use if you long arm quilt to mark the quilts, especially on white fabric? What do you use and do to get rid of the markings? What do you use for the markings and to get rid of the markings? Let me know. I don't really mark. Usually I make things up as I go when I quilt, but this time I actually marked a whole quilt, and yeah, it was just, let's just say, a disaster in the making. With a Mark Be Gone, which should have been gone. Have I ever had a customer supply fabrics for a start to finish quilt and knew that it wasn't going to look good together? No. Usually start to finish quilts, they tell me their color palette, and then I go shopping and send them pictures, and then they say yes or no, and then I give them my own personal opinion. Well, I think this, and that go better than this, and that. So, but I have quilted quilts that the colors did not go together. They weren't scrappy, but they look like they might have been the same fabric line, but they weren't. I don't know. They didn't make sense to me. But hey, to each their own with what they like. I just like certain things, I guess. But my clients usually like what I choose. Yeah, I've also quilted designs on quilts that I thought would look dumb, and that's what they wanted, so that's what they got. And in the process, I taught myself how to do something. Is that all but 3 yet? Am I there? No. How many more? 1, 2, and 3. So 1 more on the side of it, right here. And then we will take this to the iron. And in that process, I shall take the hoodie off because I've now become hot from working. there. All right, now all of this is going to go to the iron.
Iron board.
Yep, I don't know why I'm using the big snips for this.
You want me to do that?
No, I got
While
it.
you iron? I can cut.
No, it's fine. I got to take my hoodie off. So I shall do that away from the camera, just in case my shirt comes up with it. Plus, I got to drop you guys with the mic for a second. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay. Much better. Now to iron. No. Oops. So I'm just folding these back. Just gonna put them upside down right there to keep them in the order of which they go back on the wall, because I liked the order I laid them in. It spread the scrappy colors better.
Before you got your long arm, did you free motion quilt on the Juki?
Yep, before I got my long arm, I actually started free motion quilting on a brother machine, and the feed dogs didn't have an option to go down. So I got very, very frustrated with that. So then I got another machine, and it was a Kenmore or whatever. The feed dogs went down, but once they were down, I couldn't free motion quilt. For some reason, it just didn't work right. So then I got another machine, another little brother machine, and I free motion quilted on that. Feed dogs did go down, but that broke in less than like 6 months. It was a brother PRS 100 or whatever, not PRS 100. No, Project Runway Series. Yeah, it was PRS. And yeah, for the life of me, it just broke for no reason. It's actually still in a box in the garage. I took it apart and never put it back together again. Because instead I ended up with the Juki, and I started using the Juki for free motion quilting. And if you go back to my really old videos where I'm sewing in my bedroom, I free motion quilt in there. And then also I free motion quilt because I couldn't quilt on the frame in the summertime when I had my Juki on a frame, which I've told you guys the story. I don't like it that way, but whatever. We won't go into that. So in the summertime, I would quilt in the house, sit down, free motion, and let's just say it drove my shoulders, my back, my neck, everything crazy, even though I sit properly as best as I can. But for some strange reason, I just cannot sit the free motion quilt. I just can't do it. And when I finally, got the long arm, it was in the garage, so I could only quilt in the wintertime. So I still ended up free motion quilting sit down in the summertime, and I hated it. Absolutely hated it. All right, you can put the camera back over here. All right, I'm going to lay these back on the wall. All right, I assume that that's the staggeredness. I'm going to be sewing some more. Let me just get these on the wall so I know where I'm at and what I need to do. Oh, no, it's fine. Oh, no. Okay. Obviously, they're going to be spaced better once I get the other piece in, but we still got to add top and bottom, but I got to know which pieces are getting tops and bottoms. So bottom, top, top only. So I need to put bottom on this one. I'm just going to stand to sew. Sometimes it's easier for me. I should get myself a desk that automatically goes up and down though, just because I do this so often. I'm just going to sew on the ones that need them in certain spots. So I'll just do one at a time here. So that one is that. This one is top and bottom. So when you lay them out, if you're doing the layout that I'm doing, staggered, just do the blocks one at a time so that you know which one gets a specific piece. If that makes any sense, I think it's making it easier for me. And then that one gets a top only. Because remember, I'm going around the outside with a bigger border. Or with a bigger first border at least. This one only gets it on the top. So then I'll press these, put them back. Scott went to go take the neighbor's dog out, so if there's any questions, he'll get them when he gets back. All right, so now I'm going to press these. Try to keep them in order. Bottom. Middle. And top. All right, so this is the top. And this is the middle. And this is the bottom. All right, so these get top on everything but the bottom one. So this one gets a top piece and that one gets a top piece. So this is a wider number. I can't give you the measurements because I don't know it right now. The sides were 18 inches. And now that I've added to the top and the bottom, it is now, I'll tell you right now, 11 inches with the top and bottom. If there was no side on one, then it would be 10 and a half probably. Or, yeah, I'm trying to think if this is 11 now. Sorry, it's morning and my brain does not do math. Okay. No, I'm good. You can just keep it right there. We don't want to make anybody busy. All right, that one got top and bottom. So this one gets top and bottom, and the other one only gets top. So I just need 2 11-inch strips. I'm going to pre-cut these ones. I would say, honestly, with this, build as you go, because it's probably easier than trying to write down all these numbers. All right, so 2 11-inch pieces. Two. And then this one only gets a top. So just 1 11-inch piece for this one. Okay, I'm going to press these. So that's the bottom. Just temporarily put it there. This is the middle. All right, so that's the middle, bottom. And then this goes here. So this gets a top and bottom, that gets a top and bottom, but that only gets a bottom. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 11-inch pieces. So there's 2. Three. 4, 5. Okay. Set that aside. Let's do all 5. So this one gets a bottom and a top. Jim posted a link for part 1 of this video. Like I said in the description is how the measurements for all the cuts. But if you need it on PDF, the Facebook group has it there. But the directions are all verbal visual. I'm not very good with verbiage unless it's coming out of my mouth at that very moment. All right, press this, put it on the wall. Trying not to get myself out of order now, and I think this is actually faster for me to just press and go instead of trying to build it as I. Right there. This will be top and bottom. I think my in-betweens are going to be 2.5 inch. I think that's a good number. Yeah, I'm going to do the big print for the border, for the final border, and the little print for in between the blocks. Okay. And this one just gets it on the bottom only. Have I ever come across a pattern that didn't go right no matter what I did? Yes. I did the Mariner Compass Star, and that one, the book was all wrong. And so I ended up just doing my own thing with it. The center part came out good enough for, you know what, it came out good enough for it to be a winning quilt. That's just say that. But it was a lot of patience and push through to get that quilt to be the quilt that it was to win prizes. Yeah, a lot of trial and error, that's for sure. That one put me to the test. That quilt was my worst nightmare momentarily. All right. Now all those are built, so now I need to do inside and top, bottom, top, and inside, and then bottom, top, and inside. All right, so let's do all of one side. These are 18 inches, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut them 18 inches just because I can, I guess, on the 3 18-inch pieces. This ruler is 15, 16, 17, 18. That'll be right there. Oh, I already did those. Put this one on inside. And cut one more. That's 18 inches. I'm going to cut the salvages off, though, at the same exact time. The ruler is 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. One more. It's on the inside. And we're going to do the counting so I could say it out loud. As soon as I get these on. All right. All right, let me press these. Top, middle, and bottom. No, this was top. Middle. And bottom. All right. Let's put the 10-inch. What are these without? Just so that I know the number. Yeah, 10 and a half. Look at that. Exactly what I said. All right. So now I need 1, 2, 3, 4 10 and a half inch. No, 5 10 and a half inch pieces. 5. 10 and a half. 1. That's definitely not 10 and a half there. Oh, it is. Look at that. 2. 3. 4. And is this 10 and a half? Nope. And 5. Right there. Okay. So in total, I'm going to tell you this right now. I did 17. So technically 16. You just need 15 1-inch strips of your white or background. So you only need 15 1-inch strips for that. And then once I sew these on, we'll count how many of what size were needed. And then that will all get written down. So we cut 15. You can cut 16 just to be safe, in case you're not using your little scrappy pieces. Because I used the scrappy pieces. So this one was top only. This is top and bottom. And this one's top and bottom. All right, let me press these, and then we'll count exactly what's needed for this part at least. And then we'll do the same when we do the next part. Goes there. This one goes in between. Right there. We're going to grab this. Okay, let's write this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is what you're 16 1-inch strips. You're going to subcut 18 18-inch strips. This is if you're making it my way. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 10.5-inch strips. And 1/2 strips. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-inch strips. 10 11-inch strips. So 16 1-inch strips for your background fabric for your sashing for this, for the first part of the sashing, because it's a double sashing we're making. Then you're going to subcut 18 18-inch strips, 8 10.5-inch strips, and 10 11-inch strips. So there's that. Now let's move on to the second part of the sashing. We are going to make, I have 1 yard of fabric here, so we're going to make this work. I need 1, 2, 2.5 by 10.5-inch, 3, 4, 2. I need 4 2.5 by 10.5-inch pieces. So I'm going to straighten my Lovely yardage here. What did I say? 4. Let me count one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to call this second sashing. 4, 2.5 by 10.5. I should be able to get all those from 1 2.5 inch strip. Slide that out of the way. We should be able to get all 4 2.5 by 10.5, depending on how big the selvage is. Sometimes the selvage is really big on fabric. We're going to see right now. Let's go to 10.5. And 10.5. Look at that. So 4 of those came from 1 strip. So far we're at 1 strip. We're marking this down as we go. I got to press this though because it landed at the fold. All right, we're going to start inserting these. And that way, that's going to go there. Ooh, this is going to be so cute. That's like perfect because it has all the colors in it. And we'll put one here. One here. And we'll figure out that top and bottom once we get these rows together to know what they're going to end up being. And one here. Yeah, I'm doing the inners too. I just getting those. So we need 1 strip that cuts 4 10.5 inch strips. Now we need 2.5 by 11 inch. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 2.5 by 11. So you're going to need to cut 2 strips for that. So we're going to cut 2 more strips. I really need to press this end. Yeah, they're different sizes. Because the distance between here and here is 11 inches, and the distance between here and here, because there's no outer sashing, is 10.5.
Oh, okay. Smart cookie you is. I didn't notice that. Look at you.
So I'm going to cut 2 more. So that's a total of 3 so far, 2.5 inch strips. All right. Now I'm going to subcut these to my 4 11 inch. I'm also going to press the fold out now. That way it's not there. Stack them up. 4 2.5 by 11 inch. See, this is how we make things up on the fly, but also give you a pattern all at the same time. All right, now we need to go to 11 inch right here, and I'm going to get all 4 at the same time. Come on. One, 2. It's not perfect at the moment, but once we sew everything together, because we still need to do the sides. Oops, that's not that pile. That's this pile. 3. And 4. All right. So there's our 4 2.5 by 11. These are going to do the whole way, except for the bottom because we need to make our pieces for that. So I need to find out how long this is and how much I want to, what's the word for it? How much I want to separate it. You know what I mean? So let's sew these sashings on first, and then we'll cut more. This is how my brain works, guys. When I design patterns, I do all this and then write it down so that I can make a video for you guys. Sometimes I actually make the video while I'm writing it down, which is what we're doing right now. And then when all is said and done, Karen graciously, kindly, and amazingly puts it all into the Facebook group on a PDF. I'm just going to finger press this for now. This one on. So I'm sewing the rows together to find out how long they're going to be. So if you ever want to design your own patterns, this is pretty much how you do it. You write it down. It's trial and error. But you write it down as you go. Look what I just did. Oops.
We all have an oopsie.
I have an oopsie right there in front of you guys. Duh. All right, let's rip that seam real quick. Oh, come on.
I'll stand it to be a table runner.
Yeah, that's how you would do a table runner. There you go. Ideas, ideas. All right. Now, the right side. Whew. It's still morning time. Okay, now they're in the correct position. Put this on. I gotta get rid of these holes. I don't have the eraser seam ripper in here that has a little eraser on it.
You want me to get it?
It's
You
fine.
Sure? I know where it's at.
I thought I had. Oh, I do have one in here.
I could have got it by the time you figured all that.
It's not a seam ripper though. It's a poker. Shank.
Shank.
I just use the rubber ends of these. That's how I do that. I just cleaned this area this morning too. Got rid of all the. We're gonna put that seam ripper away too, just because we don't want to use it again. Out of sight, out of not my. It's out of your mind, out of sight, out of not ripping.
You don't need it.
I don't need it. If it's not there, I shouldn't need it. I always hate when I catch the threads in there. All right, let's make sure I do this the right way. Okay, look at that. That's the correct direction. Or else we'd have that darn seam ripper again. We don't see it, though. We shouldn't need to use it. All right, so I'm going to press these towards the sashing, only because it's a darker fabric and we don't want the white showing. So, and then I'm just going to repeat with all 4 rows, getting them together. We're going to find out how. Oop, that water just exploded. The lid wasn't on it properly. All right. And this is going to be how we figure out our bottom and top pieces. Sew this on here. Just going to finger press for now. Helps it when I get to the iron. All right, make sure it's the correct direction. It's just because I pulled it off the wall. That's the only reason why I did that. Because I pulled it off the wall and put it down as I pulled it without checking the direction. Okay. Finger press it towards. that. Grab the next. Grab, or not, grab this one. Jim put the link into the PDF for just the flower pot. I didn't know you can do that, Jim.
Well, he did. I don't know. He's the man.
All right, I'm going to press this and then we'll sew the next 2 rows one at a time, only because that's what I'm doing. This will be about right there, sort of. Let's see this one. This is going to be so cute. I'm loving it. You could take scraps and do this with it, like seriously, you know? And I'm getting a big quilt out of it. I mean, it's not huge, but it's definitely going to be lap size. And adorable. I never liked, like, I gotta be honest with you guys, I never liked blocks like this. I like blocks with stars and da 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 da. I never really was a thing for gardening blocks or crafty related type stuff, you know. I prefer, yeah, I don't, you know, I didn't really need to make dog and cat blocks, but I have, you know, I could do without. I just never was into this kind of stuff. But it's growing on me. That's because our likes and dislikes change as we sew. One day you might love the color green, and one day you might hate it. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's just like our actual life, but it's in our fabric rooms now too. So I once did not like blocks like this, and now I do. Oh, nope, nope, nope. That's the wrong way. Whew. Glad I saw that before I sewed it. I think this is just going to be super adorable, though. I think it helps adding this pretty fabric, though. Yeah, the flower fabrics are a good choice for my sashing. I didn't want it to be all white, you know, like just all the same color. I think that would have just been too plain. All right, one more row to do this to, and then we will figure out our top and our bottom, because we're not doing them like they were. We're actually going to make the sides and then build onto them as if they were blocks, I think. Well, no, I don't have to do that because then it's still going to be touching. I think that'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see right now when I look at it. You know, this quilt grows quick because these are big blocks, you know? That's the plus side of making big quilt blocks, is that once you have the blocks done, everything else goes so quick. The blocks may have taken the whole last video 2 hours to make. Actually, we went over, didn't we, on last one?
Last week.
Yeah, the week before last. Look at how much this interest this is adding. It's amazing. All right, so I want them to stagger. Let's see how many inches this is. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5-inch. So let's cut. Okay, so these are gonna be 11 by 5. Hold on, we need to write this down real quick. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 11 by 5. Hold on. And then those are 10 and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're going to cut 4 pieces that are 11 by 5-inch and 4 pieces that are 10 and a half by 5-inch. So I'm going to just cut a 5-inch strip. So that's going to be 3 strips worth. Oh, it's got crooked again. I only had 1 yard to work with. That's what I allow myself, a certain amount of fabric, if you're new to my channel, to work with for making quilts. So 5. And that. And then we'll still need our 2.5-inch strips down the sides, but we won't know that number until we get these. Oops. So our 10 and a half by 5, we just need 4 of those. So I'm literally going to cut 10 and a half. And then I need to press this because I cut at the fold again. 10 and a half by 5, right there. Okay. So these are going to go here and there. Actually, no, it needs to be bigger than 5. That's right. There. And there. And then those. See how long that is. Because if I want them staggered, that top piece has to be bigger. And I already cut 5-inch strips. I screwed that one up. Those can get cut into 2.5-inch strips. So I messed up, guys, real quick. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds to redeem myself. Let's sew these on and figure out how long they are so I know where I need to taper.
Is your top going to be even in the bottom, or are you going to add something on?
Well, once those are on, I need to know the difference. I don't want them equal. I want them scattered.
Yeah, I get that.
So this was supposed to be 11 by 5. I screwed that up.
So no, wouldn't this piece go here? What I'm
One
trying to
goes
get at,
there, one goes there.
what I'm trying to get at here, I don't know what you're going for.
No, I can't do that because that's 10 and a half inches. But yes, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, this is the top, right?
Yep.
So you need a piece in here.
Yep.
And you need a piece there.
Yep, I just had a brain fart. Sorry, guys. So this one needs to come
And then
off.
you need a piece here and a piece here, not that one.
So I need 2 10 and a half by 5 and 2 11 by 5. Sorry. So let's just slide that out of the way. See, I knew I was doing something wrong here.
Okay, they can't see the top. So
Yeah.
put the camera back so they can.
No, it's fine. So that's still going to require 2 strips that are 5 inches. All right, so this one goes here, and this one goes here. Right? One, that. Yep, okay. So 2 5-inch strips. 2 5-inch, 3 5-inch. I'm gonna set that aside because that's going to go for the long in-betweens. So now I'm going to sew my ends on, and then they shall be tapered or offset or whatever the word.
Any flowers made with batiks?
Are my flowers made with batiks? No. And I got to cut another, whatever size this was, 10.5, because this one has way too much. That salvage is so big, it's hard to, I should just not fold it to cut it, I guess. Should undo it. I don't like big selvage. I know some of you like making quilts out of selvages, but I do not. It's a waste of a big chunk of fabric. All right, so 2 pieces were 5-inch by 10.5, and 2 pieces were 5-inch by 11. And I allowed a yard, so there should be plenty to do the in-between sashing as well. All right, so that row is done. Oh, look at this one. This is the 11 with the, that's not going to be within the 1/4-inch seam. Nope. No more of that selvage. All right, this one goes on the top. Yeah, see, this is too much, if you guys see that. That's too much selvage. That's more than 1/4 inch. If it was less than 1/4 inch, which is not this one either, then I would sew it in, which would be this one. This has less than 1/4 inch on it, but the selvage is like more than 1 inch of selvage. That's like, let's add this to this. That's like 1.5 inches. My goodness. That's a big selvage. Just to put the name of who made it on it. And the name of the fabric line. I know I'm complaining and I'm sorry. Well, I almost put that one upside down. All right, so this one will go there. Yeah, that's staggered good enough. Yeah, I think so. All right, let's put this one on this end. Press it. Put it up on the wall. I still have them separated, obviously, because we're going to go in between with 2.5 inch strips. And last one on the top. So if you have other scrap fabrics, you could have used other scraps. for all these sections, you know? That way your quilt is super scrappy.
Super duper looper.
Like super duper looper scrappy. Yep. All right, so now we need 3. We're going to use some of these pieces. So we need 1, 2, 3, 2.5 inch strips. This was 5 inches, so I'm just going to cut it down to 2.5. There's 2 so far. I wouldn't have had all this extra. Let's cut a third. And then we'll figure out how long it needs to be. That's 3. Let's put the big one on top like that. And the same with this one. Like this. And then we'll cut them. Just like that. Let's see how much longer we need. This isn't an exact measurement at this very moment, so we need a bigger ruler. Or a bigger whatever. This is how we'll know. About 22 inches. So this will go here, and then 22 more inches, obviously. And this will go here. All right, so since I have all this, I'm just going to cut all this up and use it because I can. I also have these, which I doubt are 22 inches. Oh, so close, 21. All right. I'm going to cut these into 2.5 inch strips, and we're going to make this work with seamed fabric. But guess what? I don't care because I don't care. But if you're cutting, you would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 2.5 inch strips. If you're doing it, full strip way. And I'll tell you how long they are in a minute. Oh, that's 2.5. Let's cut this selvage off of here. I'm just going to make one giant long strip and then cut the size. That's 2.5 already. That way none of this goes to waste.
What system do you use to figure out squares needed to set a square and a square on point block to finish at 7.5?
What? There's an on-point chart online for figuring out on-point sizes. All right, move that out of the way. I use a chart, though, that I find online. That's how I figure things out. All right, and then I'm going to take this one and hook it to this one. I'm going to make this work my way, guys, by the way. Who cares that there's lots of seams? Should be good. All right. These two. And then we're going to attach this to this. And then I'll press the whole thing, and then we'll get a measurement. There's one. Here's number 2. And number 3. All right. Now I'm going to find out how long they need to be. They're all the same length right now. I'm just going to fold it in half. Right here. On my cutting mat. Exactly right there. 64 minus a half an inch. So 63 and a half. That's how long our things need to be. Our sashings between all of this. So 63 and a half. So let me press these, and then we will cut them to size, or sew them on and worry about the size later. But if you guys wanted a size, they are 63 and a half. I think I'm just going to sew them on though, because that's what I do. I don't do anything the right way.
It's okay. Your way is your way.
My way is the best way, I think.
Doesn't have to be the right way. No right or wrong.
No right or wrong in quilting. Just do it.
Quilt police monster
Getting it.
Sleeping on my chair.
Yeah. He's not much of a quilt police, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's sleeping. He's sleeping on Daddy's chair.
All right. So I'm going to attach all 3 of these now. And this time I can sit for this part. And then I'm just going to cut it to size, but we know that it's 63 and a half. There we go. Nope. Oh. Ghost sewing. I didn't get very far though. I rolled like 10 bobbins before this morning's live too, so I have plenty of bobbins. Even though 10 is not needed for piecing this quilt. But I knew I didn't have much left from everything that I was doing yesterday. Making tiny quilts. Well, a single tiny quilt.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show them that when we're done.
Yep, I'll have to show you guys. It's not quilted yet, but if you're in the Facebook group, you've probably seen it then. But if not, or on Instagram, it's up there.
Ah, I see it. It's a cute little thing.
This is my tiny quilt that I made yesterday. It's just the top for now, but that's what I made yesterday.
Little wall hanging. Right?
Yeah.
A little wall hanging.
Just
right?
a little wall hanging. Those cornerstones finished at a 1/4 of an inch. They're half square triangles. Because someone asked yesterday, and yeah, they're 1/4 inch half square triangles. Yeah, I think the white did really good separating the blocks from this busy flower print.
your music tattoos?
What are my music tattoos? Well, I have MS. I've had it for a long, long time. And therefore, and I like oldies. I don't listen to them as much as I used to, but so if you guys know, I'm all shook up. Elvis. Okay. Anyways, that's supposed to be what my music is on my chest, but obviously the song itself's music did not fit. My daughter did try to play it on the cello many years ago, and it sounded dumb. But it wasn't wrote for a cello, obviously. But yeah, it's supposed to be I'm all shook up. And then James Dean saying runs across the front of the chest that says, dream as if you'll live forever, live as if you'll die today, which is my motto. I love it. So yeah, that's what my chest is all about. And I have a phonograph on one breast and a tape cassette on the other, because I grew up listening to records on the phonograph that my grandparents had, but I grew up in the cassette tape era, so that's why I have those. But I'm not going to show them because they're in parts of my body that you don't need to see. All right, so I'm going to sew this second one on. Huh? So this weekend, if you guys missed it on Sunday, my daughter Maxine is getting married, and on Saturday. So that's what I will be doing Saturday. I was trying to find, it's a casual, nice, a dress nice casual type wedding. And it's really hard to find that because I know it's going to be still chilly because it's still cold out. But yet I know we're going to be sitting in the hot sun. So I'm like, what do I wear that won't get me too hot, but won't. So I have like a cut off shirt that has long sleeves, but it's a dress, and I'm wearing it with jeans and my cowgirl boots because, well, that's what I wear, that kind of stuff. And I think that should keep me warm, but not too hot, if that makes any sense. And it's skinny jeans, obviously, because I can't stick any other kind of jeans in my cowgirl boots. Gotta be skinny jeans. And I'm going to be doing Maxine's hair. So she's going to come over the morning of. Her hair is almost as long as mine, and it's been growing less time. I asked her what she used. She's like, oh, I used some special stuff. I switched because I have the other stuff for hair growth. And yeah, she switched to a different one, and her hair is growing faster. I'm like, okay, I need that. But I'm going to do a half up, half down look for her with some curls. Because yes, I own curling irons. I'm not a girly person. I don't wear makeup. I usually don't do my hair, even though it's long, and I probably should because it looks cute when I do. But my hair don't hold, so even with hairspray, the curls don't even last in my hair. But hers does. So her hair should be nice and pretty for her wedding. But I won't have pictures or anything because it's a no camera. I'm doing a live chat with my daughter Alexa, who could not make it to her sister's wedding. So she's going to be on, what is it called? Messenger video chat so that she can attend her sister's wedding. Video chat's better than nothing. Yep, since Alexa is in Tennessee and Maxine lives here. All right, those two are done. Look at this. This is going together so quickly. All right, let's attach this third one. And then we'll put all the rows together and then do a border all the way around and then the big border. And then this will be done. All right, where are we at here? drink before I do some ironing.
You remember the name of the shelf you got from Walmart?
The shelves we got from Walmart, I think, are Mainstays.
Yeah.
When I did my fabric room, that's what all my fabric's on. So it's been on those shelves for what, a year and a half since we did that?
Yeah.
Or so. And I do have to say the Walmart ones are cheaper than getting IKEA shelves. So my shelves are already starting to sag, but to prevent it from, like you can see the shelf right here in the screen. So this part of the shelves are starting to sag from the weight of the fabric. Can they see this right here? And so what you do is you take all the fabric off, once a year, flip the shelf the opposite way, and then put the fabric back on it. And once a year, that's all you have to do. And it keeps it lasting longer because it's going to start bending and sagging. All right, now to sew the rows together.
Yeah, weren't they like 30 or 40?
Yep, they were like $34 each or something like that. That plenty of room to put fabric on them for the price. It was worth it. I mean, I don't have the money for IKEA stuff. IKEA is kind of expensive. It would have been nice because they have all sorts of different styles that you can put together and put cabinet doors on, but I didn't need all that stuff. I just needed a place to put the fabric. And if I have to, flip my shelves once a year so that the sag is equal, then so be it. Should be good. So all this I'm going to press towards the sashing. That way it's away from the white. My two ends meet up nicely. Everything is the size it needs to be. Look at that.
Do you know how deep the shelves are?
What?
Do you know how deep the shelves are?
My shelves are like 12 inches. I think they're 12-inch shelves. I could be wrong. They're the same as these, I think, honestly.
Come, Jim, put a link in.
Yeah, Jim put a link in.
That's the right one. Jim got it. He's on it.
Jim's the link guy, man. He can do it all.
I don't know how he found it that quick. We didn't even know the name of the shelf.
They're always out of stock, too. When I went to get our shelves, we actually had to go in person because online said it was out of stock or the store only had 0, and we went there and they had 2.
They were in the store because they were on their own shelf.
Yeah, they were in the store
It was in their own spot.
on the wrong spot. Yep. So we actually had to go to Walmart and get them. Plus, you can only buy 2 online anyway at a time. They don't let you buy more than 2 at a time. So we just went in store a few times because the next time they didn't have any. They hadn't restocked by the time I needed 2 more shelves. So now I have a total of 6 shelves. Okay, let's put these 2 together. And then put the 4 of them together.
Just let them know if they go in person, they are heavy.
Yeah, if you go in person, they are heavy, though. The box for the shelves, they are heavy. And it takes 2 people to put them together because someone has to hold a piece as someone is screwing or putting the piece on. They don't come assembled. And preferably build it outside, like on a porch or a patio or in a garage. Because the little styrofoam that hooks to everything, all the pieces are between styrofoam, and that styrofoam falls apart, and the little styrofoam pieces get everywhere. We did the first 2 in the room, and we had to vacuum, and the styrofoam becomes like a static cling, so it's stuck and it won't move, and it's hooking to the vacuum and everything. Yeah, it's just a disaster. So build them outside, then wipe them off, and then bring them in. But they're nice shelves. They do have black and wood color. And white. Black, wood color, and white. Those are the 3 colors that they have. But if you need to build a room in a pinch, you know, and you don't have a lot of money because you spent it all on fabric, you know, then Walmart shopping is the way to go. All right, press this and then attach the 2 together. Woohoo! Almost done. And then we'll add borders. This isn't going to be as long or as wide as it is long, so I think my side borders are going to be fatter than my top and bottom borders. Okay. Now to put that side on this side. Yep. Yep, I got to put the borders around it though. No, I have water. Thank you, though. I'm good for now. Oops, not that one. Ooh, there's a selvage right there. Almost did not make it within that 1/4 inch seam. I guess I must have not been paying too much attention to all the pieces I cut. No. All right, I'm going to press this and then we'll put a 1.5 inch border all the way around. And then after that, that'll be of the white color. And then we'll do the big flowers around that. But I think I'm going to do the sides wider than the top and bottom, just so that the quilt is a little bit more sized appropriate. Size appropriate, is that a thing? That way it's not super skinny, but super long. We don't want that. Nope, I'm done. I was just making sure that it's ready to go back on the wall while we cut. Yeah, right now it's, let's see how wide it is. I mean, it's perfect size right now, honestly. But we're going to go around it with the borders. No, 24 and 24 is 48 by 63.5. Right here's fine. I'm going to put the borders on it though real quick. I just need to cut them. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1 1/4 inch strips. I mean 1 1/4, 1 1/2. Let's do 1 1/2. No quarters, no quarters. So 7 1.5 inch strips of the white. I'm just going to cut 7 strips. I'm going to hook them all together end to end, put them all the way around. And then we'll do the sides a little bit wider. I have 1 yard for that final border to work with. Come on. And 1 more. And I'll hook them end to end. Line all these up. Cut all the salvages off. Yes, I'm cutting all 14 layers because, I mean, why not? And now I'm just going to hook them end to end. I'm going to remove the bottom piece and sew my borders the way I always sew borders. Move the bottom piece, and every 2 pieces should be right sides together until you get to the top, which has 1 piece left. All right. I'm literally not even going to press. I'm just going to attach. I'll throw all that to one side over there. Grab the whole quilt. I do the sides, then the top, then the sides, then the top and bottom. I almost like said that wrong. Or at least my brain was thinking that I was saying it wrong. I don't know. Right sides together. Let's sew this on like I do with any other border. And I know that I usually press to a dark, but there's no dark mostly, except for the ends and the sashing. So when I press this, I'll just press it away from the quilt top itself. And this should be that separation between that flower and the sashing. And honestly, I probably could have put sashing on the 2 sides if I would have built it that way. So if you want to put it on all 4 sides, then build it that way so that it becomes wider, that's on you. It's your quilt. You do what you want. I'm just giving you the idea to go on. Right, cut it to size. The other side. Grab the other side of my fabric. This there. This is a pretty fun quilt, though. I like it. I definitely like the fact that I added the colored flower print. Because it has all the colors of the flower blocks in it. Well, close enough to. All right, let me press these real quick, and then we'll put on the top and bottom, and then we'll decide the size for the side borders and then the top and bottom borders from the other floral print.
Welcome to Beast.
Oh, I woke up because I'm next to him, pressing. Kitty, kitty. Cover. Hi. Say hi to everybody.
I was sleeping, Mama. Woke me up. That's not fair.
He's like, I don't want to be the star of the show. Leave me alone. That's.
Be asleep.
He's like, cat life. Sleep 23/7. And then eat the rest of the time. Yep, exactly. All right, so I'm going to add the top and bottom, and then we'll cut our borders. I'm thinking like 6-inch and 3-inch. 6-inch for the sides and 3-inch for the top and bottom. Okay, it doesn't land on a seam. Yay! I hate when it lands on a seam. I say that almost every video too. Like, it just drives my brain nuts. Okay, bottom. Oh, I didn't even need 7 strips. I only needed like 5. Look at that. I don't know, maybe 6. We'll see right now. I just guessed. There is an app called the Robert Kaufman quilting app that you can get in the App Store. I'm pretty sure Apple has it too. But in the regular Android App Store, and it helps with your quilt math that you need. So it has backing, batting sizes. It has how much yardage you need for, sashing and borders, and so on and so forth. So if you want to be absolutely correct about things, just use the app. When I'm live, I don't even bother with that kind of stuff, but I should. Maybe it wouldn't make me look so stupid when I'm coming up with numbers that are wrong.
Don't say that. You do a good job.
I try to do a good job. All right, so I'm going to tell you right now how many. I did cut 7, right? So technically, I only needed 6 strips. So you only need 6 strips if you're doing my way. That are 1.5 for the border. All right, let me press these, and then we'll cut the other ones and sew them on. And look at that. Whew. It's going so quick. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's put this right here for a moment. It's not even proper, but we're going to leave it there. And we're going to grab the second border, and I'm going to cut 3 6. I only have 1 yard of this, so I should have plenty for 3 6-inch strips. Oh no, let's do 3 6-inch for the 2 sides, and then we'll do 3-inch for the top and bottom. So let me cut a nice straight line on here, and then I'll line it up. Oops, I forgot that there's a hole in the cutting mat right there to hang it up. I always hit that stupid thing. All right, this has a big selvage too, man. What's up with the big selvage on fabrics? All right, 6-inch, 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna sew them together. Hopefully this should be enough. Hopefully. Do the 2 sides. We'll see though, huh? All right, so let me sew these on, and then we'll cut for the top and bottom after I sew these on, because, you know, I don't need to pre-cut everything out. Oh, this is going to look so pretty. It'll still be a rectangle quilt. It's just going to be a little more equal, if that makes any sense. Whoever said they had to be same size borders? Nobody. They could be whatever size you want them. If you want the right border to be 10 inches and the left one to be 2, have fun with it. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut 1 more strip.
Oh well. You mathed it close.
I mathed it close. We're going to cut 4 6-inch strips. I still have plenty of fabric, though. Let's cut 1 more and add it on here. Jeez. Come on now. Just kidding. On a line. Cut 1 more strip. Oops, that's 7. Woo. And then I should be able to get, since this is 6, I can divide what's left over and make it 3.
It's huge. Are you going to be able to use that?
No.
Yeah, you're going to cut that whole hunk off.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an inch selvage.
Yep, it's pretty big. Both these fabrics had big ones. It's weird. So I'm going to attach this to this real quick, and then what's left of this will be cut in half to the 3-inch strips for the top and the bottom. I should have enough fabric. Should is the, big word here. All right, so let's flip this over. The other side. We're going to see where that seam lands, though, because I definitely do not like it when a seam is next to the end like that. I don't like that. So let's just adjust this up about right there. There we go. And then I'll just cut the ends off. Any other questions while I'm still here? Because as soon as we get those top and bottoms on, it's time for Tiffy to eat. Top of itself, cut it to size, and then we'll press real quick and then cut that into 3-inch pieces, and then I should only need 2 strips. We will see how much is left on here, how much I need now that it's wider. It was 48 inches plus 12 plus 11 and a half. No, plus 11. 48 plus 11. 59 is what it's going to be, right? Is that right?
Huh?
Is that right?
Plus 11 plus 12, what?
48 plus 11. 59. Yeah, 59. That's what I just said. It's so weird that these two fabrics match. They're not even the same line. It's so weird. I love when a plan works out, you know? Yeah, top and bottom real quick, yes. Yeah, all right, plenty. I should have it on there. It's not in my way. All right, let's make sure what I said in size, because if that be the case, a strip is 44 inches or 42. I always say 42, 30 and 30 is 60. So I need 60 inches. So I need 2 3-inch strips. 1 and 2, and then so that would be 40 something, and then split this in half. Let me press it first though, because it's kind of not perfectly. No. Split this in half, and one will go for one side and one will go for the other. So technically you're cutting 3 strips if you're following me. Oh, Oh, thank you, Joyce. That's awesome. Thank you. Much appreciated. Yeah, with this wide of salvage, it's definitely like 42-inch fabric. All right, so I'm going to add one of these to each of these, and then we'll put it on the top and the bottom, and then the quilt will be done. All right, this one and this one, and then we'll have made a quilt in a little bit more than 4 hours. I just love it when a plan works out. All right, I just need one over my shoulder and one to sew, and a quilt top that I'm gonna have to pick up and put on the table. I'm not going to press the whole entire thing, just the borders, so it'll be wrinkled when I'm done because of all the moving around. But you'll get the general idea because I'll hang it on the wall. And if you're new to my channel, yes, I can continuously sew. A little bit higher, fold it, cut it. Look at that. That was perfect. So a total of 3 strips covered everything I needed for the 3-inch part. And I don't think it'll look weird, but it'll be more uniform, I think, when it comes to its rectangularness. All right, grab this one. I like tangled it over myself somehow. I just threw it over my shoulder. I don't know how it tangled. That's weird. Right, stop, fold, cut.
Stop, fold, cut.
Don't lose. All right, here we go. Let's press this, and then I'll get Scott to help me hang it up. Hi, that's like the perfect. How that worked, I don't know, but it looks great. Don't be afraid to mix different designers' fabrics together. I mean, for those of you who are, like to do fabric lines as quilts so that you have matchy-matchy quilts. That's how I say it. I say that they're matchy-matchy. So if you use a fat quarter bundle and it's all, say, CAFE or something, and you use all those, and then you use the Moda solids as your background or whatever, but everything matches, you got matching borders to go with it. Honestly, don't be afraid to find something else in your stash that matches, because when you see this, you're going to be like, whoa, that's so weird. These do not go together. They are not the same line, but these fabrics match. Let's go a little bit higher. Right there, stop. No, I wanted it to be, it could come down a little, you're too high. There we go.
think it looks amazing. Tiffany?
It's perfect. Perfect size.
I think it's amazing.
All right, guys. We'll have this out of the way so that the whole thing can be seen. So it's 60 by, I don't even know again. What's it say down there? I can't.
70.5.
And this isn't really fully out. So it's 60
60.
by 70 and a half. So it's literally the perfect size now. Look at that. And this goes together. How is it possible that two different fabric lines go together? That's why I say you can mix and match whatever fabrics you want. Just find the right setting. This looks so pretty. I love it. I want to keep it now. My first flower pot quilt. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to go in my for sale.
Quilt.
Can you tilt the camera so they can see up and down?
Where do you want me to take it?
So that they can see down there and up there.
Okay, you hold that.
That way you're not moving it too much. So I just need to quilt it. It'll probably get quilted with like feathers and something. Who knows? Oh, he's yanking. All right, let me come over there. All right, let's see. Is there any more questions before I get off of here? Because this girl needs to eat some food. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Nothing else? All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. This is it. I think it looks great. Now I just need to quilt it someday because I have a lot. Anyways, I'll see you guys on Sunday. And then the next Breakfast at Tiffany's will be the first Thursday of April. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.